easiest way to find out how much the value of your rental is to look at the other homes for rent in the area. There's a whole host of other websites you can go out there and check with to see what's going on in your neighborhood. Keep in mind, your value depends on what you have to offer. There's certain factors like, are you going to pay for the gardening? Are you going to pay for a pool guy if the pool guy is, or if you have a pool at your home? We recommend that you provide gardening and pool service if you do have a pool. It takes that out of the equation, especially a pool. If the tenant doesn't take care of the pool well enough, they could really cause some major damage. Gardening, tenants, this is not their home. It is for the duration of their tenancy, but gardening is typically an included service. If you leave it up to the tenants, they won't generally do it as well as a gardener would. You want to make sure that you keep up your home, the appearance of your home, as well as you possibly can. Okay, so when we're talking about the value of your rent, if your home has new carpet, new paint, new appliances, that's great. If the other homes do not have those things, you've got to factor that in. Let's say, for example, your neighbor's home rents for $1,500 a month, but they haven't really done any upgrades to the house. How do you figure out what yours is worth in rent value? Well, there's no magic way to do that, but you definitely have newer things. If they're going for $1,500 and you want $2,500, you're probably out of the ballpark. But I would say that you're going to bump it up an extra $100, $150 a month if you've got new items, if your house is fresher, newer, and in better shape. The other ways to figure out rent value is just type your address into Google. If you type your address into Google, there's going to be a host of different ways to find value on your home. Like I said, Trulia and Zillow will put values down there too, but there's going to be other websites that can assign values or at least tell you what your neighbors are renting for. For us, we use a couple different systems. We have a rent match system, and that picks up all of the rentals in certain areas. It'll tell us what's new, what just rented, how old the rental value is, the number of beds, bath, year built, square footage. We also use a company called Rent Range, but they do charge. I think it's about $4 a rental survey, but it's a great system to use as well. They'll give you a lot of demographics for the areas, and they have up-to-date information as well. For just the general layperson out there to try and find rent values, easiest way is to go onto Google, put in the address, and start doing your investigations. There's no one way to figure it out, but if you feel that you've got a better rental or an inferior rental, increase the rent or decrease the rent based on what you feel you've investigated in the neighborhood.